Now entering the ring, Nightmare Danny Davis. This, of course, for the World Junior Heavyweight Championship on television. Danny Davis moving out against Nelson Royal. And joining me at ringside for the commentary of this match, a man who is more than likely his own man. We're talking about Dirty Dutch Mantell, seated number 9 in the road to Birmingham for October 3rd. And Dutch, as Mr. Royal was entering the ring, you and I had a little conversation going here. One of the greatest professional wrestlers of all time.
Nelson Royal, one of the greatest junior heavyweight champions, I believe, that the wrestling profession's ever seen. And I'm going to come out here and I'm going to watch this match, and I want everybody to know that I'm impartial in this. And I want to see what goes on between two great junior heavyweights when they finally lock up and bump heads.
Well, I tell you what, tensions are running high right now before the match even gets underway. They're in each other's face. Wait a minute, Pete. Randy Anderson trying to... what is going on here?
Well, I don't know. Obviously, Nelson Royal is a master at getting his opponents upset. Now, Danny Davis has to be concerned at this point because he's going to get tired hollering at him.
Look at that.
But you see, that makes Nelson Royal as dangerous as he is because he takes advantage of every mistake.
A master in every sense of the word, going after the back of the leg and the knee, back of the knee of Danny Davis.
Nelson Royal has been a junior heavyweight champion for going on 9 years now, has wrestled and defeated the best in the junior heavyweight ranks, not only in the South, but all across the world. That includes Japan and Australia. He's one of the masters of the ring. He's a master tactician when he steps inside those ropes. As we've witnessed right now, he's got Danny Davis already on the defensive and got him down.
Dutch, you're pretty much your own man now in professional wrestling. You told me that before we started today's edition of the Continental Wrestling Federation. Names like Bob Orton, Austin Idol, Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert, Wildfire Tommy Rich, Gentleman Chris Adams, Dr. Tom Pritchard, the Dirty White Boy, the Bullet, yourself, plus one more. What would that equal to in one night?
Oh, my God. It's like a who's who in professional wrestling. For the wrestling fan, it's like a smorgasbord. And anybody that misses the October 3rd road to Birmingham, and Birmingham, Alabama, is going to miss one heck of a night of wrestling. Believe me. Because I'm not taking away from this match, but I'm seated number 9, and that's because of my inactivity in the CWF at the present time. I've been in the Caribbean, I've been in Puerto Rico and down that area for a while. But since I was the last Continental Heavyweight Champion, I got an invitation, seated number 9, and I readily accepted it, and I'm glad to be back in the CWF, and I hope, by hook or crook, that night in Birmingham, I'm going to come out the CWF Heavyweight Champion.
You brought out a very important point a moment ago. 9 years, the World Junior Heavyweight Champion, Nelson Royal. How does he do it? Keying on that left leg of Danny Davis. Staying with one part of the body is what this man is famous for.
See, the weight limit on the junior heavyweight division is 230 pounds, and Nelson Royal is very methodical, he's very thorough, and he's very sincere when he goes after somebody, and he has that killer instinct. And when he's got a man down, he doesn't let up. He goes and he drives, and he's got that inner drive in him that keeps him going. The crowd, they may be the third man in this match, but they cannot wrestle the match for Danny Davis. But see, Nelson has heard all this before, and he's used to going in another man's backyard and taking him on at his own game. Now, Nelson is making Danny Davis right now wrestle his match. Nelson Royal is dictating the flow of this match, and if the tide turns, now if Danny can dictate to Nelson Royal, then it may be a whole different story. Not changing the subject, but you know, the recent trouble that Danny Davis has had with Ken Wayne, it may have thrown some of his concentration off, but it would be highly advisable for Danny Davis, you know, to really see if he can put all that behind him right now and mount an offensive against Nelson Royal.
And he's trying to do that right now. Danny Davis coming back to life. Good forearm. He rocks Nelson Royal again with a forearm. And
now it may be starting to turn now, but see, that's the experience of Nelson Royal.
Danny Davis needs a timeout period to let that leg kind of get some circulation going.
But unfortunately in wrestling, there is no timeout. It's 60 minutes, do or die. And Nelson Roy, I've seen him go the time limit many, many times.
Right now, Danny Davis, you can hear the screams, no, no, no. Is Randy Anderson asking, does he submit? It's no, and he is screaming no because of the pain being inflicted by Nelson Royal.
Yeah, it's a very, very painful. He's got him right there on the ankle, and he's pulling that leverage point of that toe back. Danny's hooking him under the chin now. A little leverage there.
Nelson Royal using that bottom rope.
He knows every trick.
9 years, the world junior heavyweight champion. Whoa! Beautiful, executed flying dropkick by Danny Davis. Can he do it again? He does. Nelson Royal back in the turnbuckle. Nelson Royal coming back with a boot. Oh, man. Where does this guy come from?
Nelson just keeps driving, and keeps driving, because when he's got him hurt, he knows he's got him hurt. He's still dictating the flow of this match.
What a match we have going, ladies and gentlemen. The World Junior Heavyweight Championship on the line on the CWF as we strive to bring you the very best at wrestling commentary.
What a shot.
Competition in America today.
What a shot. Straight in, straight in. He threw that one from the shoulder with all the power behind it.
Look at this now. Nelson Royal going right back to the left leg.
He's going back to that point that he's got weakened on him. He's going right back to him. And see, he's laying all his weight on Danny Davis. And Danny's trying, all Nelson Roy has to do right now is lay all that weight on him.
He's not exerting any energy yet.
No,
Danny Davis is trying to get him off.
He's not expending any energy. What he's doing right now, see, it's up to Danny to get up. Danny's got to spend the energy to get up under the leverage.
Exactly.
Get out from under the weight.
Very good comments coming from Dutch Mantell at ringside.
This is a classic match. Classic match.
Man, it is. Here in Montgomery, Alabama, capacity crowd at the Montgomery Civic Center. Enthusiastic wrestling fans, and they're seeing two of the finest in America today.
For all the wrestling buffs, I think the man that Nelson Royal beat for the junior heavyweight title, for all the wrestling fans, the wrestling trivia fans, I think it was Pat Barrett.
Pat Barrett.
That's the one.
9 years ago.
9 years ago. I never lost it.
Oh, man. He is sensational.
I'm not saying Nelson Royal's undefeated, but he hasn't lost the title. And I can see why he doesn't lose too many matches.
Side headlock. Oh, good shoulder smash by Royal coming off the rope. Over his man. Danny Davis back to his feet.
Whoa.
Good. Hip toss takedown. All right, and arm drag.
Danny right on that one went too far under, but he got under the leverage. He got under the leverage of Nelson Royal.
That's Danny Davis keying on the left arm of Nelson Royal. Maybe going to turn the tide in this match.
What an athlete Nelson Royal. Not taking nothing away from Danny Davis, but he's a tremendous athlete. Any other man in a position like this would panic, but Nelson Royal has been in these situations. He's been on the hot seat before.
Many nights.
Many nights, many nights. And sometimes you don't know how hot it gets in that ring when you're sweating and you're perspiring and that sweat is coming down in your eyes and it's hurting, but you got that inner drive.
You're Danny Davis in this match, Dutch. You have the left arm in control as he does now. Where would you go with it from now?
Man, I'd take it south. I'd take it as far south as I'd take it to Mobile if I could.
Danny Davis has to be, but look at that. Nelson Royal going right back to the already sore leg.
What Danny did, he exposed his weak part there.
Exactly.
Now, if he'd have turned maybe and hooked that arm bar on the other side with the leg back on the far side, he may not be able to get a good shot on it. But Nelson knows, this Nelson Royal knows where he is every moment of the match, every second. And he's thinking 3 or 4 moves ahead. This is like a chess match. He knows where he's going. Now, unless Danny Davis can get 3 or 4 moves ahead, you know, he's almost beat up front, I'd say.
Classic wrestling action taking place on the CWF, and my commentary assistants, very able assistants coming from the number 9 seed in the road to Birmingham on October 3rd, Dutch Mantell. Yeah. Nelson Royal continuing to pound away at that leg of Nightmare Danny Davis.
And I'm not taking nothing away from the Nightmare Danny Davis because he has to be a great athlete and a great professional wrestler just to get in the same ring with Nelson Royal. Just to get in the opposite corner 20 feet away and look him eyeball to eyeball, he has to be a tremendous athlete. That was a tremendous shot from Nelson Royal right across the pectorals right there.
Going back to the opening moments of this match, what got Danny Davis in trouble with that leg to start with?
Well, what got him up?
Nelson Royal.
Nelson Royal got him upset and left him open. He just caught him with a knee.
Man.
He's a master. He's a master of psychology.
The chess game continues, ladies and gentlemen. You're seeing it from Montgomery, Alabama on the Continental Wrestling Federation. Oh, good connection by Danny Davis.
Whoa!
Across the chest, and the champion goes down. What about it, Dutch?
Well, he's down right now. Danny needs to take as much advantage of this as he can, but
there he goes, back to the leg.
I think it goes back. Danny doesn't really have the killer instinct this Nelson Royal has. He should have been all over Nelson Royal at that point right there. I mean, all over him.
Good forearm.
And Royal keeps pounding away and pounding away.
Oh, good shoulder smash by the World Junior Heavyweight Champion up and over his man. Danny Davis flying high. And again, Nelson Royal goes down to the canvas, and again, Nelson Royal goes after the left leg.
Right back to it. It's like a storyline. He just keeps going to it.
Whoa!
This may be it.
Whoa, wait a minute. Kenny Wayne comes in from nowhere. Hard right. And Kenny Wayne goes back out on the floor. Look at this. Whoa. Oh, man.
Oh, no.
It is
oh,
over.
No.
And the psych of Nelson Royal and the interference of Kenny Wayne robs Danny Davis of his chance.
It's unfortunate, but, you know, there was nothing I could do for it. You know, it's not my concern anyway. I fight my own battles, but it's very unfortunate. Danny gave him one tremendous bout, and I'd like to see a rematch on this one.
I would too, Dutch. Thanks for your great commentary. Once again, a situation where Kenny Wayne and the combination of Nelson Royal cheated Danny Davis out of his shot at the World Junior Heavyweight Championship. We've got more great action coming on the CWF. You stay with us.